Assalamu alaikum and welcome to Game Changer. I'm Mariam Zia. In today's program, we will be talking about a unique relationship between two countries that extends beyond borders, and that is Pakistan's growing relations with Poland. When we talk about Pakistan's relations with Poland, of course, the diplomatic relations between the two countries were established back in 1962. And the interesting aspect of Pakistan's relations with Poland is that Poland helped Pakistan in 1965 war as well. We will be talking about this historical evolution of Pakistan's relations with Poland in today's program. We will also be talking about the economic aspects of Pakistan's relations with Poland. When we talk about the current trade volume between the two countries, that is over €500 million. So how can we reach the maximum potential of this economic relation between the two countries? We will be talking about in today's program. We will also be talking about energy and other aspects of this multifaceted relationship between the two countries. To discuss this and more, we are joined in the studios by Mr. Shahyar Khan, who is expert in international affairs. Welcome to the program. And we are also joined online by Dr. Snan Javed, who is economist and expert in international affairs. Welcome to the program. Mr. Shahyar, when we talk about this interesting relationship, of course, we have shared history as well. When we talk about that starts from World War II and how Pakistan granted some citizenship to citizens of Poland in 1956 as well. So let's talk about the history of these ties between the two countries, how diplomatic relations have evolved over time, what are some of the aspects and key elements of this interesting and unique relationship between Pakistan and Poland.
Yeah, Mariam. The relationship between Pakistan and Poland is very unique. And when we talk about the uniqueness of this relationship dates back before the independence of Pakistan, as you mentioned. During the Second World War, when USSR basically annexed territories, eastern territories of Poland, that's when a very famous general in that era, General Torowitz, he evacuated around 30,000 Polish nationals from Poland, and using the Persian Gulf, he basically reached Pakistan. And Pakistan, at that time it wasn't Pakistan, but the areas today which are known as Karachi, even Quetta, all of these Polish nationals basically settled there as refugees. And when the state of Pakistan was independently formed in 1947, a lot of them basically took Pakistani nationality as well, and chose to stay back. And what we also have to remember that a lot of them basically joined the University of Karachi as well, and they basically taught physics courses, social sciences courses, and they basically became the members of the faculty over there. One of the very important aspects, General Torowitz and around 30 of the Polish Air Force, from the Polish Air Force, they basically played a very vital and crucial role in development of the Pakistan Air Force. They established technical institutes over there. They basically developed Pakistan's Air Force, air defense systems, and they basically provided their expertise in the development of the Pakistani Air Force.
Right, we will be talking about the defense ties and how they have evolved over time and what are the key areas of cooperation between the two countries. But let's stick to diplomatic ties and how they have evolved. When we talk about the Cold War era, both countries were in different ideological blocks. Exactly. So how does this factor impacted the diplomatic relations between the two countries, staying in different blocks, and how they have evolved over time now?
So that is one of the reasons why Poland basically started its embassy in Pakistan in 1962, and that was the communist era. Right. In which Pakistan and Poland were in different blocks. At that time it was in the USSR bloc. When Islamabad was formed, this embassy was moved to Islamabad in around 1966. Pakistan established its first mission in Warsaw in 1969. So the relationship took off a bit late, but during the era of General Musharraf, that is when this relationship really took off. And the trade relations and the trade ties developed a lot more, and they thrived under leadership over there.
So how do you think that both countries navigated this transitional phase into more cooperative phase between the two countries. Of course, we know because of having in different blocks, there was not a lot of cooperation going on different sectors. Although there is history behind the relationship between both the countries, but like you mentioned, that maybe the relations evolved into something more substantive, more in 1990s, right?
Yes, exactly. So before that, there was the era of the Iron Curtain anyways. So most of the areas under the occupation of USSR of that time were not really interacting with the, the capitalist side of the world, or the more towards the Western side. There was not like a lot of cooperation. Even then, there are like a lot of like Polish companies that basically were involved in the gas exploration in Pakistan. So they played a very important role in discovering gas and basically extracting it, and the Pakistani customers are using it up till today. Other than that, the whole trade relations started under the era of Zulfikar Ali Bhutto, but it really thrived under the era of General Pervez Musharraf. And one thing we also have to keep in mind, that Poland-Pakistan trade relations, now they are like, the volume is around $700 million, but it's in the favor of Pakistan. Very few countries in the world, Pakistan has a trade surplus. So Pakistan exports textiles, leather, food equipments, pharmaceuticals as well, in large quantity, which is in Pakistan's favor, and it like goes to Poland. Poland has a huge market over there. Another aspect, that Poland is a very thriving part of the European Union as well, and it's
of course that is very significant for Pakistan as well, and we will be talking about multilateral cooperation. But Dr. Sen, let's talk about the political relations between the two countries and how they have evolved over time. Of course, we know there is history. Can you provide us an overview of Pakistan's diplomatic as well as political relations with Poland, how they have evolved over time?
As Mr. Shahryar giving the preamble in a very excellent way. I mean, before the World War II and the aftermath of the World War II, there are the relations, but the turning point, actual turning point, was the President Pervez Musharraf high-level visit to Warsaw in 2007 till 2010. So during his visit, President Musharraf 5 bilateral agreements and memorandum of understanding covering mutual beneficial cooperation in the field of defense, small and medium-sized enterprise, education, science, culture, economic and cooperation, and they were signed. And he wanted to get that relationship in a magnanimous way, but certain reason it was not that stretched extended in the other democratic times. So additionally, they have been the visitor of the Speaker of respective Senate in Poland in 2011 and 13, and as well as in Pakistan in 2012 to 18. So the foreign policy of Poland is based on 4 basic commitments, as you're talking about, and your point is very pertinent. So what are the political aspects? So the foreign policy of Poland is basically on 4 basic commitments, or to Atlantic cooperation, to the European integration, to international development, and the international law. So which is very much important, and they, as Shahryar used the word unique, so that means, so they are uniquely cooperated in the both of the European nation. Otherwise, if we talk about the France, German, and other, the European Union's, other countries of the European Union, they are not aligned. So they are making a line in the way that they are putting into these things. So political support, if I talk about, so as a member of the European Union, the Poland also supported Pakistan to secure European Union GSP Plus program, which is very much important. And then is a Polish oil and gas company, PGNiG, is still operating successfully in exploration and exploitation of the natural gas for the local network in Sen. And Polish oil and gas company PGNiG Group have been engaged in Pakistan for 20 years, and the Polish company have invested $300 million in the gas, $300 million in the gas exploration, and they are willing to do more. And how we will do more? SIFC. Then I'll move on other chapter. It's a Polish company who will explore more gas.
Right. Of course, energy cooperation is very important, but let's start from the economic ties between both the countries. What are some of the sectors, key sectors that are driving bilateral trade between both the countries, and how to expand the trade volume between both the countries?
Very pertinent. So, see, Poland is located in the center of the euro. So, in that way, the demonstration of great potential for the international trade and the bilateral relationship between the Pakistan and Poland are non-traditional, and the trade volume have remained below 370 million over the year. So, Poland-Pakistan trade volume reaches over 723 million euros in February 2023, which is not very promising, but yes, very advantaging. Both countries are focusing on exploring more avenues of the trade and investment in the multiple sector like information technology, food processing, and agriculture sector. In 2022, Pakistan export good worth 265.5 million, and the bilateral trade balance over the year favor Pakistan. So trade volume has increased by compound annual great rate. I'm using the pure economic term, the compound interest rate, which is about the 5% from the 258 million in 2016 and 359 million in 2020. However, import from Poland have remained volatile. So we must have to think on it. And another study where export to the Poland have recorded an extended, increasing trend. The important thing is still that the export challenges and import challenge. So what we are exporting potential is that still the biggest export potential is textile and RMG, agriculture sector. Again, the mango, leather, shoes, manpower export. But the major challenge is what we have is import tariff. We have to work on the import tariffs. We have to work on the custom regulation. We have to labeling and marketing requirements, prohibited and restricted imports, and special certificate, which is called NTBIS. So there are so many important export balances. And yes, of course, we are importing. What we are importing is machinery and mechanical appliances, electricity, tool, and minerals and fuel oiling. Why not we? And why not we can call up their companies to put up all under the things, because we are now into the minerals and mines, so we can cooperate into the better way. So
Right.
trade balance, if I talk about in just in numbers, so it is about the 30% of imports, for 42% of the total imports, and the 30% of the exports. So that is not so promising, but very,
Right, that is
you
not
can
very
imagine.
promising. So, what are some of the sectors in which there are investment opportunities for Poland in Pakistan?
Again, so the need, there is a huge, you can say the potential in the trade investment, energy, mining, dairy, agriculture, defense, higher education, and communication, and the other things. But as you know, and everybody knows, that Poland got third position on the list of the best 20 countries as far as the investment is concerned. So Poland came into third place in on ranking of top 20 countries for investing, published by US News and the World Report. So ranking is based on the 8 attribute, which is very much important. So we have to consider all these 8 points so that we can have the greater arrangement on the entrepreneurship, dynamism. There is no corruption, of course. So economic stability, complete favor for the entrepreneurial development, and there is complete taxation holidays, which I am very much into support for the Pakistan as well. So we must have to give the complete holidays for the tax
Of course.
holidays for the entrepreneurial development. Then is the innovation, skill labor, and technical expertise. So these are the area. Rather than we have also a very good relationship in defense. Maybe you talk later.
Right, of course, we will be talking about that as well. But when we talk about economic ties, the trade volume is not up to the mark and up to the potential, although it is in favor of Pakistan. So, what are the key challenges that are hindering this economic relations between the two countries to reaching its true potential? Because we know that Poland can be one of the launching pad for Pakistan to reach and to the European markets as well. So, what are some of the challenges? And do you think that formation of SIFC is going to be addressing those challenges?
So, Mariam, SIFC is an instrument which basically encourages investment into Pakistan. And when we have to export our items into the European Union, Poland provides us with a young, a vibrant, and a very growing market where Pakistan can export its goods. When it comes to exporting goods to the European Union, we know that the standards of the European Union are very high. So right now,
so that was one of the challenges.
that is a big
other
challenge.
challenges?
So that's like a big challenge. Other than that, like Pakistan is still focusing more on providing raw material up till now. When we talk about textiles, when we talk about sports goods, when we talk about food items, they are mainly more in the terms of raw materials still. Even when it comes to leather products as well, yes, we provide some leather jackets, like, and then in textile as well, some garments. But mostly it has always been
traditional sectors when we
Definitely,
talk about
yeah.
leather and
Yeah.
so how to go beyond those traditional sectors?
So definitely we need to like see what all areas where Poland is actually like importing products. It's like one of the biggest markets, so it like imports a lot of like stuff to basically even develop. Other than that, when it comes to attracting investments into Pakistan, that is like where a lot of like cooperation can take place, especially as Dr. Hassan also mentioned, that mines and minerals and oil and gas exploration. Poland is already there in Pakistan, and Poland historically has conducted a lot of like exploration in this area, and that is like something that can be expanded to mines and minerals as well.
So do we have some treaties that are going to be signed, or we have that in the past to promote such kind of investments in these non-traditional sectors?
So there are like a lot of like business to business contacts historically, ever since the trade relationship between Pakistan and Poland was established in the era of Zulfikar Ali Bhutto. So that is like a starting point that we can have. So in that time, we basically made a lot of treaties in which we eliminated double taxation on both sides when it comes to products being exported from Pakistan to Poland and Poland to Pakistan. Other than a lot of like business relationships, Chamber of Commerce, various chambers of commerce in Pakistan and Poland have developed relationships, and those are the relationships that need to be expanded. Other than that, all of these like new sectors in which Pakistan is like trying to attract investment, like agriculture, like mines and minerals. Other than that, technology, IT, human resources.
Yes.
So that is like one area where Poland can be given incentives, tax breaks, tax holidays, as Dr. Hassan has also been mentioning. Board of Investment is also doing a lot of attraction, and a regulatory environment which is like more appeasing to the European market, that they can come and like invest in Pakistan.
Of course.
So those are like the few areas where a lot of work needs to be done.
Of course, those are few areas in which a lot of work needs to be done. If we want to expand Pakistan's economic ties with Poland, we will be talking about other aspects of Pakistan's relations with Poland, but after a short break. Welcome back. We are talking about Pakistan's multifaceted relations with Poland, and we are also joined by Brigadier Hamid Malik, who is analyst. Welcome to the program. Brigadier Hamid, let me start with the security relations and cooperation between Pakistan and Poland. Of course, we have an interesting history when we talk about these cooperation, and of course, Poland and Pakistan have faced security challenges. So how do you, can you tell us about the history of defense ties between Pakistan and Poland and how they have evolved over time?
Thank you, Mariam, for inviting me. As far as the defense cooperation between Poland and Pakistan is concerned, it dates back to the creation of Pakistan.
Right.
Then when in 1947, 30 Polish officers, they joined Pakistan Air Force, which were 17 pilots and 13 engineers and technicians. And because of their knowledge of the Second World War, they have played a very instrumental role in making Pakistan Air Force an invincible force.
Of course,
by
Mr.
itself.
Shehjar has also told us about the history, that how they played an important role.
And this is what I am trying to highlight, that General Torowicz, a legendary Polish officer, he actually did the stone for building stone for the Aviation Academy for Pakistan, for Air Force also, and being engineer by profession, he has been very instrumental in giving a boost to the aviation industry of Pakistan, and especially the Air Force. And because of their experience of the Second World War of aerial combat, they have played a very instrumental and very proactive role in the 1965 and 1970 wars. And while flying the famous Sabre F-86, they have defended Pakistan against the aggression of the Indian, and Indian Air Force have been defeated by the cooperation of the Polish pilots and also their technicians while they were working hand in glove with the Pakistan Air Force. And they have been also instrumental in making Pakistan Aeronautical Engineering Academy as well as Pakistan Air Force Academy.
Right.
And they have also paved a way for the future program for the modernization of the Pakistan Air Force.
Right. So this is very interesting for me that although both Poland and Pakistan were in different ideological blocks at the time, but still Poland helped Pakistan in 65 war. What were the reasons behind that, and why it did not translate into something more of economic ties where both countries could have more of trade volume?
I think in your question you have also highlighted one of the aspects. They were in different ideological zones.
But still they defend,
Yes.
Poland helped Pakistan.
I will allude to that also, that
Right.
Pakistan has been the first Muslim country which established diplomatic ties with the Poland.
Yes, in
going
62.
back to 1962 and then Pakistan embassy in Warsaw in 1969.
Yes.
While being part of the Eastern Bloc, Pakistan has always tried to establish diplomatic ties because there are two cardinal points of both foreign policy of as far as Poland is concerned and Pakistan is concerned. That is the respect to each other's sovereignty and respect to the international laws and norms. And these were the two building blocks on which the diplomatic relations between Pakistan and Poland were established. And then the trade, as well as we know that mutual trade is about more than half of billion of euros, but it has a lot of potential. Now coming, what are actually the problem areas between the two countries? And we have seen that being part of the Eastern Bloc and being under the Soviet Union, Pakistan was actually known as one of the allies of the Western.
Of course.
So that was one of the aspects in which, because the relationship has been diplomatic as such, but not that very warm. But after 2007, when General Musharraf visited Poland, the ice was broken, and then a lot of mutual MoUs has been signed between the countries, then reviewing of the double taxation and then of the maritime cooperation between the two countries. And the first defense cooperation MoU was signed in 2018, which was basically a recognition of each other's country's role for the regional peace and stability as well as security. Now, we know that Poland is the fourth major country of the European Union and it is also part of the NATO countries. So, in that context, it has a very prominent role as far as the security and stability of the region of the Europe is concerned, and also against the terrorism. And Pakistan being the victim of terrorism, Poland has always supported Pakistan in its war against terrorism. As well as we know that they have been always supportive of us, of our regional security values, as our challenges are concerned. They have all been in the forefront, and also they have been supporting our role as far as a very responsible country which ensures regional stability and is fighting against the global terrorism.
Of course, that is very important. Let's move towards, Dr. Stein, let's move towards the multilateral cooperation between Pakistan and Poland. Can you tell us about some of the joint initiatives or some of the causes in which Pakistan and Poland have collaborated when we talk about multilateral cooperation?
Yeah, very important. Of course, the bilateral and multilateral relationship we could, but the Brigadier Sahib is very right. It was the time of Musharraf. The President Musharraf was, I must tribute to him because he has the intelligent mind to have the multilateral and bilateral trade agreements. And as I told you earlier, that the Polish oil and gas company at that time, PGNiG, was operating successfully exploration and exploitation of the natural gas, and it was been 20 years now. And then is we can explore more. So if the Polish company would explore more gas in Pakistan, then it would be 3 times cheaper than the imported gas. But what was the hurdle? I mean, still we have, there is a big bureaucratic glitches I'm continuously focusing and integrating this point, and I'm grilling this
Right.
point every time, which most probably is not very suitable. But every time I must have to make all the our bureaucratic people
Right, right.
realize
Of
that
course, when we talk
there is
about
no
economic
such
challenges, that
relationship. I mean,
remains.
we must have to understand. Yeah.
Right, of course, Dr. Sen, that is a very pertinent point when we talk about economic challenges. But when we talk about multilateral cooperation, we know that Poland is an important member of European Union as well. So let's talk about those initiatives in which Pakistan and Poland can collaborate, maybe about climate change, maybe about green technologies. Can you tell us about that?
The main areas we can only in the first phase we can only go for the traditional areas. We cannot go for the climate, we cannot go for another things. We are dealing with the trade. We are dealing with the defense, and defense ties are very much excellent, and we can enhance it more. But traditional exports, yes, we must have to think about the optic and photographic cinematic graphic, which is about the 2% man-made staple fibers. Yes, of course we can do that. Cotton articles, textile products, furniture, and other things. We must have to focus on all these. And on the import side, we must have to participate in having the bilateral and multilateral trade. Only on the area of the machinery and mechanical, we don't have that. Electrical and power, of course, we must have to ask them for having the big industries over there. Then is a pharmaceutical; they are very good in that. Then is a paper and board, which is 3%. We must have to expedite that area into the export. A bilateral relationship mean creating the export, not just the import to be there in Pakistan. Then is a mineral and fuel area. So most important area is the fuel, mineral, and oil. This is the most important area, as I'm telling you. If we got up with the more challenging areas, which is we must have to talk when we are talking about the bilateral trade, there must be the import tariffs, cost regulation, labeling in the market requirement, prohibit restriction, and the special certificates. Why I'm talking about the certificate? Because it is about the quality standards. So European, whole of the Europe and most of the Polish government is following the special certificate NTIBs, NTBs, what we call it. So we must have to work on the board of investment, must have to talk on it. And as I'm telling you, there are many opportunities. As the Poland position in the heart of the Europe, as I'm telling you, the dairy agriculture, defense, higher education, communication, and other facilitation. But we must have to expedite in a very traditional manner. We cannot go into the untraditional matter in a very first way. So under the SIFC, first we have to minimize the bureaucratic glitches, one-step unification, and then one window operation, and starting with the trade investment in energy, mining, agriculture. These are the three
Right.
most important areas. And then is the aerospace sector, as Brigadier Sab is telling very rightly about the aerospace sector and the defense ties, as we are
Of
doing
course.
that. But defense cooperation is, of course, is the very potential area that we are doing. And there, of course, we cannot forget the Joseph Marine Trukovic.
Right, of
We
course,
cannot,
of
of
course. We
course.
have already paid enough tribute to him. So let's move forward when we talk about these glitches and when we talk about these economic challenges. But there's a lot of potential when we talk about multilateral cooperation. Poland being part of the European Union can provide Pakistan a lot of leeway into the European market economically as well. But when we talk about some of the key issues that Pakistan have been raising on international forums like climate change, green technologies, how can Pakistan and Poland collaborate on those sectors?
So Pakistan and Poland have already signed around 5 MoUs. So these MoUs are focusing on cooperation in terms of defense, other than that IT, sciences and technology, education as well, and socio-economic and economic ties as well, to enhance them and like strengthen them a lot more. So there is a lot of focus on science and technology, and it's like now in Pakistan's territory on how we basically make these MoUs count. When it comes to cooperation in terms of like climate finance, climate technology, or sustainable development, Poland, being a very important member of the European Union, has access to technologies and a lot of like knowledge that can be shared with Pakistan, transferred to Pakistan in terms of developing infrastructure which is like more sustainable and like climate adaptable as well. Now that Pakistan...
So what needs to be done to establish these mechanisms of knowledge sharing? Of course, when we talk about green technologies and other sectors like agriculture, dairy, there is a lot of potential for Pakistan in that, but knowledge sharing and human resource building maybe remains one of the key challenges that we face.
So Mariam, that is a very good observation. So how does knowledge transfer actually take place? There are like two ways that can be done. One, if a Polish company brings all of that technology in terms of foreign direct investment and establishes its operations in Pakistan, that's like one way in which technology can be transferred. Other than that, there can be cooperation in terms of education, you know, cooperation in terms of like technical training of our human resource.
Right.
So that could be in the area of TVET, or it could be universities to universities cooperation.
Exchange of delegations.
Exchange of delegations or exchange of transfer of technology as well. So that like reminds me that even University of Punjab has MoUs with some Polish universities as well, the Social Sciences and Humanities University of Warsaw. Other than that, University of Krakow has MoUs with the University of Punjab. These MoUs can be expanded, this cooperation can be expanded into the area of climate change. Now, a lot of like Pakistani universities have established centers of excellence when it comes to research in climate adaptation and developing sustainable architecture and development as well. Now, when Pakistan is like seeking international investment and this like whole new instrument SIFC has been developed, we have to like keep in mind that when all of this development and investment will be coming to Pakistan, in terms of like mine exploration technology, we have to like make sure that these are all climate friendly and sustainable.
Of course. So but how does Pakistan's policy align with those of European Union members?
So right now, Pakistan is behind when it comes to the same quality standards or same standards of sustainability that the European Union abides to. They are like moving towards more renewable energy. Right. We are still exploring coal and gas to basically develop our electricity. Pakistan, being a developing country, right now doesn't have the finances or resources to invest in, energy making initiatives that are like more sustainable. So we are dependent more on hydro, we are depending more on coal and instruments which the European Union has long foregone.
Of course. So moving towards renewable energy is very important if we have to move towards green technologies and sustainable development that we keep on talking about. But when we talk about this digital age, of course, knowledge sharing is very important, but intelligence sharing, when we talk about the defense cooperation between the two countries and cyber security being an emerging challenge, remains an important issue as well. So do you think there is potential for both countries to collaborate in that sector as well?
Why not? There is a lot of room and lot of space available for both countries to come forward and join each other for, as you said, the future is cyber security, and also if we say that there are now different type of setup of defense collaboration coming into mind. One is the transfer of technology, and second, as being part of the NATO countries, they have got a framework where the physical security of each country will be ensured by the member states. And similarly, there are different international cooperation organizations which are available, and then we have person-to-person contact, government-to-government contacts available, where there are a lot of avenues for collaboration for each country. And if we talk solely of the defense cooperation between the two countries, we have a very golden episode of history available to us where they came and contributed in making our Air Force invincible, and one of the most modern Air Force in the world today we have. And China especially also contributing a lot to our Air Force and defense cooperation. If we see the Polish defense industry, we see they have a lot of expertise in missiles and missile defense in artillery, and the land vehicles also available. And Pakistan defense industries also has that potential where both countries can join hand with each other, and with the European market available to the Poland, and Pakistan can also have very considerable export potential for those countries also.
So are there some multilateral security forums specifically for the purpose of defense cooperation between Pakistan and Poland, or are there some multilateral security forums on which both countries can collaborate?
Yes, as far as the security of against the terrorism is concerned, both countries are contributing to each other. But if we come to the traditional defense cooperation between two countries, because of the different geological zones they are located, it is not like that. But as far as the strategic, as far as sovereignty of both countries is concerned, both countries are supportive to each other for the sovereignty and dignity of each country is, as far as defense is concerned, as far as the geographical boundaries are concerned.
Of course, that is very important. Dr. Sen, when we talk about Pakistan's relations with Poland, of course, there are a number of sectors in which both countries can collaborate. So can you tell us what is the future of Pakistan's ties with Poland?
So one of the most important thing I would like to highlight, if you allow me, so the identification of the chip in the personalized page of Pakistan passport has also been prepared by the Poland. So it is the history, it's a very important part. So more recently, one of the Polish IT company also contributed to research on how optimize cellular network in Pakistan in view of the future plan on 5Gs. So there is many options, but we must have to think on it that how can we, maximize our, ties multilaterally or bilaterally, or of course, in every skillful area. So Pakistan is, of course, working on the education cooperation. There is a dire need of institution partnership between the universities of Poland and the think tanks and Pakistan to seek potential talented and skillful students in the field of science and technology and the higher education for the better outcome. And similarly, of course, we can expedite, and under the SIFC, I'm very much, it is promising that we are looking forward for the foreign direct investment, and I'm telling you that half of the billion would be expedite, and that will reach till by 2028, it would be $10 billion very soon.
Right, of course, there is a lot of potential when we talk about economic ties. Mr. Shirjar, how do you overview Pakistan's future ties with Poland, and what are some of the sectors in which Pakistan is not focusing at the moment, but there is a lot of potential for investment and we should be focusing towards those?
So Pakistan, it's up to Pakistan now to provide a conducive environment to international players, especially influential countries in the European Union, to come and invest in Pakistan. There are like two golden opportunities, one through the SIFC, Dr. Hassan has mentioned, and we keep on forgetting the special economic zones under the whole CPEC network as well. So these are two golden opportunities for international investments, for companies to come.
What specific sectors are there in which, especially when we talk about these special economic zones, in which Polish companies can come and invest? So
right now, the area that Pakistan needs a lot of support, and there is a growing market as well internationally as well in Pakistan, is like climate sustainability and adaptability. So that is like one area where countries that are very vulnerable to the disasters caused by climate change can basically take advantage of the technologies that are available to the European market, and diffusion of those technologies to developing countries is of utmost importance.
Of course. So Brigadier Hamid, lastly tell us, what is the way forward for Pakistan's relations with Poland?
I think the best way forward is open door policy and reaching out to them, because open door policy, as I already highlighted, that we have lot of potential available because of our geolocations, our connectivity, and then the energy corridor which we have. But at the other hand, Poland also has a lot of potential, being located in heart of Europe, and it connectivity to the other European community. And we have seen in the past also they have supported us to get GSP plus status, because of which our export has a multitude progress also. And similarly, now our businessmen can also reach out to Poland and to see different avenues of trade available to us, because now our slogan should be no aid but trade. This should be the cornerstone of our foreign policy, and I think with this aim in mind, we should reach out not only to Poland but the rest of the world.
Of course.
And we should have a very open policy anchored on respect for each country's sovereignty and dignity.
Of course. Those are the key elements of our foreign policy as well. Thank you very much, Brigadier Hamid Malik, for joining us in today's program. Thank you very much, Mr. Shehryar Khan, for joining us in today's program. Thank you very much, Dr. Stan Javed, for joining us in today's program. Of course, in today's program, we talked about this unique relationship between Pakistan and Poland. There is a history behind these relations, and of course these relations with Poland have evolved over time. Poland, being an important member of European Union, could provide Pakistan with a lot of benefits, and there is a lot of potential when we talk about increasing the trade volume between both the countries. But this relationship goes beyond the economic ties. There is a lot of potential when we talk about cultural exchanges, educational ties between the both countries, and of course defense remains an important sector in which both countries have collaborated in the past as well. That's all from Game Changer tonight. Take care. Allah Hafiz.